Welcome everybody. Happy Friday. It's not Friday. You can tell I do my Friday lives. Sorry about that. I'm off to a great start. Happy Thursday. It's our Meet the Designers night. And tonight we have Candi with us. And
Hello.
Candi is awesome. What was that? What did you say, Candi? Did I miss something?
Texting my mom the link because that way she could have
Oh,
it. So
okay.
that's why I'm down.
Your
I
mom has to have the link.
apologize.
She needs to see this.
Yes. That way she can see the she can see it. So okay.
Absolutely. Well, Candi has been with Brutus Monroe, what, 4 years? 4 years?
3, I think. 2020, I think.
2020?
Or actually, I met Christopher in 2019, so it had to be 2020.
We started at the
Yes.
same time.
It was like February
Yeah.
of 2020, I think, around
Yeah.
that date. It was spring. I just remember that.
She's a veteran. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
I really appreciate Candi's contribution to our team. Candi is like the first one to be willing to do anything. Honestly, she is really, I love our whole team. I really do. But Candi, I have to just give you props because you are just quick. You're always right there. And I really appreciate that.
Thank you.
So maybe you could tell us a little bit about yourself.
I live in Northeast Iowa, right on the banks of the Mississippi River, like literally. I grew up in Minnesota. I went to school in Cedar Rapids, a town called Guttenberg. It's where my kid's dad's from. And my kids have been out of school, going to be 26 and 25. My son lives here in town. Hi, Scrap Mania. Is that Stacy? Iowa does rock. But my daughter lives in Florida. And then my boyfriend Tom is from Guttenberg, and his daughter is the same age as my daughter, actually, and she's expecting her first baby.
Aww.
And then he has a son who's going to be 30 this year. So I work at a real estate firm. I'm the account executive, which turns fancy name for a secretary. So I do anything for the agents and my boss work. And then when I'm not there, what I'm usually doing is in my craft room. That's what I do every Saturday and Sunday anyway. So
perfect. Yeah. Let's say hello to everybody really quick. Hello, Kelly. Hello. Oh, thank you. If you're talking about my shirt, thank you so much. Hello, Kathy. Hello, Penny. Hello, Tina. Hello, Scrap Mania. You know who that is, right, Candi?
Yeah, it should be Stacy.
Thank you for coming and supporting Candi tonight. Hello, Lori, and hello, Donna. We're so glad you guys are with us tonight. And we are really excited to get to know a little bit more about Candi tonight. Hello, Mindy.
Hi, Mindy.
So let's see. Let's start out with how you started crafting. Have you done it your whole life, or?
I have been crafting. Well, I don't know if I'm a book reader when I was growing up. I like to write, even though I write a book, but no. But my mom, of course, took me to a home party, and so I, was stamping, and really liked that. In northern Minnesota had a scrapbook store, and so that one, and there was another one. It was always card of the week, so you could go and pay $5 to make 5 cards. And that's what I mostly did for a long time. And for a while, I did actually like swapping recipe cards with some in a group, like in a Yahoo group, long time ago. Card making. I mean, it kind of hit or miss. When my kids were really, really big, I did a little scrapbooking once they but it was about in 2017 where I really I was single and just started it, and then I'm at my road. I would sit in the room, and to be honest with you, I discovered the Misty. I just fell in love with crafting all over again, and just pretty much all I do is card making. I like to do a 2-page layout, so I don't have time or the for it right now. I'm just too busy. I'm cutting in and out.
We'll let Candi kind of adjust and see if we can.
Yeah, sorry about that. I will tell you that we're supposed to get some storms, but so I don't know if we're going to have them. It was 70 some degrees, and tomorrow it's only going to be like 60. So I'm not sure if it's my internet.
I think it's just got like a little bit of a delay. So if it's a little tricky, but I think it's more of a delay.
I think she's frozen.
Oh, you might have frozen.
Yeah, because you're cutting in and out a little too.
Ah, darn it. Well, let's hope that this kind of works itself out as we go along.
Yeah.
But if you have any questions for Candi tonight, if you'll just put question in your comment, if you'll just start it with the word question, then it's really windy up there. Then that will help us a lot to be able to just. That's your mom?
Yep.
Awesome.
Hi, Mom.
Well, we love your daughter. Okay. So let's see. Like I said, if you want to ask Candi any questions, please feel free to post them in the comments. But you know, Candi, let's talk a little bit about the fairy release first, just because that's kind of the talk of the town right now. So I'm gonna have you just if you'll hold up each card to your camera and just tell us what you used.
Okay. I'll start with the Home Sweet Home stamp set because that was one of the first ones when we were looking. I really liked, and I'll be honest, I'm going to tell you, I'm very proud of two of my cards but here's the first one.
That's very pretty,
and I'm so excited. I aqua pigment paper. I did heat emboss it because that's thing. So I have this one. My favorite thing about it is that this is a background that's old. I don't even know it's ink top of it.
That's awesome. Darren is pulling up the QR codes as we go. I think that you froze for a minute.
And that's what
make sure you kind of watch the monitor to see if you're frozen as the night goes on, as it seems that the storms are kind of interfering with our stream. We appreciate your patience very much. We're working on it. So if you have not yet seen all of the really amazing products in the fairy release, make sure after this live that you visit the Brutus Monroe site and check out all of the beautiful, beautiful products. Darren will try to keep posting them as we go, but we'll give Candi a minute to come back on. Gives you plenty of time to think of a question. So in the fairy release, there's like, what, 5 stamp sets, Darren?
Yes.
And P.S. Darren, thank you so much for moderating. And if you could send a comment and let me know if things are still showing up for you guys, at least one of us, if one of us is showing up, I want to make sure that I haven't frozen.
Here's the stamp sets.
Darren's going to put those stamp sets up right now. This one is Fairy Fantasy, and it's got 19 pieces. You can see all of, yeah, don't you love technology? Yes, when it works, I do love it. But when it doesn't, boy, it just doesn't, does it? Okay, thank you guys. So Fairy Fantasy is one of the beautiful new sets that we have. I'm still making samples. We kind of pushed the release date up a little bit, so we're all still kind of madly making samples, but I have had so much fun playing with that stamp set. So be watching. We put up some of the samples today, and there'll be some every day for the next few weeks. The next stamp set, oh, and there is a coordinating die that you can buy the bundle and get both. And then, hello, welcome back. Candi is back.
Am I back?
You are. Can you hear us?
set. Oh, and there is a coordinating die that you.
Sounds like there's a little delay.
Welcome back.
Yay!
Candi is back.
All right. The next stamp set, that Candi showed her card that was the Home Sweet Home. And that one is really beautiful. All of the stamp sets have coordinating dies available. So you can get them in the bundle or you can get the stamp set by itself. How you doing, Candi? Looks like we're still working on things a little bit on that end. Darren, go ahead and keep putting the stamp sets up until we have it kind of. So this is the Forest Friends. And this one has all of these cute little critters. There's 18 pieces in this set. And there is also, like I said, a coordinating die so you can get the bundle. We'll pause for a second in this next one and see if we have Candi back. Candi, can you hear me? Isn't Forest Friends adorable, Kathy? I just love that little hedgehog that's on his back. I think that's one of my favorite things in this entire release. It's just so cute. The next stamp set that is in this release, we'll just keep going for now, this one is Follow Your Dreams. And you can see all of those cute words fit into those little signs. And you can put them in a lot of different combinations. So there's a lot there you can work with. Candi's trying something, so stay tuned. Candi, can you hear me? Candi? No. Darn it, I am so bummed out. Oh, there.
I did something. I went to my tablet. I thought maybe that would work.
Well, whatever you did, it was a good idea. Because here you are, and it doesn't seem to have a delay anymore.
No, my phone doesn't like it. So I'm going to have my phone on for the chat, and I'm going to use my tablet. So
perfect. Well, I'm glad that we got it worked out because I have been looking forward to this.
I am too. And the thing is it's funny because I bought the tablet new because I needed it for my lives, and I can't see any chat on it. It's because it's a Fire tablet. I love it, but the new Fire tablet won't let me do any live chat. So I have to use my phone during my lives to read the chat and watch my video here and film. Yeah.
Darren does the same thing. He gets it.
I'm here. Okay, so we were living off with this one, and it won't see the sparkle, but this is the fairy dust on top of a Simon Hurley ink. And that's cool. Yeah, and I wanted a softer look to that one. And then my second favorite, to be honest with you, of the set was the Follow Your Dreams set.
That is a fun set. And I love your really colorful one. Are you showing that one first?
Yeah. I wanted to go completely weird. Oh, you know what? I can even go big screen here so I can see better. Maybe. Yeah, there we go. I wanted to go completely different. And so I just used all the sentiments. And then my go-to for rainbows is just 3 colors. I did red, yellow, and blue. And that's what made this the 3 colors.
Did you use aqua pigment or chroma mist?
Simon Hurley inks.
Oh, Simon Hurley. You said that. I'm sorry. You did.
That's all right. They're 90% of all the inks. If it's not Raven Detail ink or the embossing ink, it's Simon Hurley inks.
So you used the 3 colors and then you just blended in between.
Yep. Yeah. I always start with yellow, and I did like all yellow from here to here. And then I went and did my whichever red I used. I think this one was Love Struck. And then I put red down below, and then I did blue from here to here.
Well, I love it. It turned out really cute.
Fun fact, my first live I ever did was for Brutus Monroe on their Facebook channel, and it was doing rainbow cards with stenciling.
Ah.
And I think I only used 3 colors because not everyone can have every color. And I'm like, well, you can make the rainbow with just 3, and it can change the hue depending on what color you use. You know, if you use light.
Lisa just popped in. Lisa's also on our inspiration team.
Lisa and I only live an hour and a half from each other, but we haven't met yet.
Oh, cool.
So
well,
it's on our list.
Yeah, that's definitely got to be on your bucket list.
This is my second favorite. Well, actually, this is my my very favorite card of this release that I made. It's going to be kind of hard to see. I don't know if you can see I don't know if my light's charged here. Let's see. My watercoloring on this. Nope, it's not. I don't know if my phone will work with it or not, but it's super bright and I just love the colors. I was super proud of. Let's see if I can go ahead a little bit so you can see the colors. And I mixed a little pearl in this aqua pigments.
I love that set. That's such a cute set.
It is. It is. And it's my favorite one of the I can't wait to do it for more.
Kathy says she loves the sign stamps too.
Yeah.
And that set is called Follow Your Dreams.
And I used it last night on my live to make, this is the card I made on my live last night. And I added two of them.
Cute.
And you know,
the pathway stencil.
Yep. With Simon Hurley inks and a little bit of alabaster on the flowers.
Love it. That's so cute. That's on my to-do list tonight, is to play with that stencil. I haven't gotten to that one yet.
I have to use a couple yet myself, but I still have some dies that I need to use that came out that I haven't used yet. So, but I did kind of hustle my butt. I was so proud of myself. I think I got 7 cards done Tuesday night when Christopher said something to us. So I just said, honey, I'm going to my craft room, and I didn't come out.
I'm so glad you made this card.
When I saw this and we talked about it, I was like, you got to do. And I originally did the stone one, the stones, the pebble one, at least.
Right.
But I didn't like the river rocks. Yes. So I thought, well, we're going to do green. And then I looked up how to do them. So, you know, fire. And obviously you could do the water stencil, but I wanted to do the ice. And then this is from last month.
Water anyway, right?
Yep. And I thought this was just kind of a fun way to do the elements, and then, you know,
highlighting all of those great 4x4 stencils. So the fire and the is that first one the wind one?
This is the wind one, yeah.
Okay, so we've got air, we've got fire, we've got ice, and we've got earth. The fire one was released with the frogs last month, but you've got all your elements, so you're all covered. And I love that you did that. I thought it would be fun. I almost did one, but I didn't want you to feel like I was copying. So I didn't, but I was like, I almost did fairy cards that were all that way.
You know, oh no, you know what's funny is once a long time ago when we first were in the design team together and we used to share our cards, I used to have to stop looking because I'd be looking and I'd be like, I just made this exact card. Like, it wasn't the exact card, but, you know, we used the same images, same kind of techniques. And I'm like, how? I mean, I never saw it before. I just made it myself. And then I'm like, okay, now I got to go change my card, because I feel like we didn't copy each other, but we almost literally made the same card.
I actually remember the very stamp set and everything once that very thing happened between us, because we were using that little stamp of the month that was a cute little bear.
Yes.
And you had made little sleeping bags, and I was like, oh man. And so you know, it's always the due date that I'm working on it still. But you know, I have to say it was kind of a blessing, because I ended up really liking what I did after. But sometimes it's funny because the way that we do our assignments for the inspiration team is we'll put like a consumable product, like maybe it's the chroma glaze, and we'll pair it with a stencil or a stamp. And sometimes they're a little tricky. Like sometimes you have to wrap your head around it and think outside the box. But I like those challenges, because sometimes you find the coolest ways to do something that you wouldn't have thought of otherwise, because we get in that comfort zone. What do you do? Like, what do you do to push yourself out of your comfort zone?
Okay, so when you give us something, sometimes like there's certain mediums I don't work a lot with. Like I don't work a lot with chroma mist. I love them. I just don't, because I don't watercolor and I spray, but and you could do so much with, but I like aqua pigments and I love the glazes more. So when I have to do them, you know, a lot of times with my chroma glaze, you find it, or chroma mists, you find me with a background that's just sprayed with it, because I just can't quite always get there. So sometimes I have to start a project and feel like I'm almost finished, and then be like, nope, not. And so I actually have a bin behind me that has all sorts of stuff that I can use for die cutting underneath for panels, you know, like if I want to raise something up, or, like instead of foam tape. And that's where I put that stuff, or I set it aside. But I tend to really sit there and think about put the products kind of in front of me that I need to use. Actually, here's my little cheat sheet. This is all the past release, all the assignments we've had up through May 14th.
Oh, wow.
And I write down supposed to use, and so I actually plan out ahead of time. I need to use this die and this stamp set, and I need to use this and this. So I choose right away which one is going with which. Like, oh, that one's easy to do aqua pigments with, no problem. Okay, so that means I have to do chroma glaze or whatever with the other one, and then it makes me think about how can I do it? What do I like? Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
And then
So
I think go ahead.
What was that?
The one other thing I've changed too is because not too long ago we had something I used I used a die that was discontinued. I've had to get back around my head going, we're making cards, not necessarily. A lot of times I just give my cards to the store. I love them, but I'm like, if I don't know who I'm going to give a card to, sometimes it's hard for me to create. So now I'm like, well, I don't need to do that. What I need to do is I'm using the stamp set. Find a sentiment that's either in that stamp set or something that came with it and put it together, because that's what we need to use our stuff for. Not necessarily that I'm creating a card specifically for someone, because I'm horrible about sending cards out. Like some people are, but that was always my sticking point. It's like, how am I going to make a card that I'm going to use at this moment? Because I need to create a card for an assignment, instead of letting that go and just realizing I'm going to create a card. And if I have a moment, it's perfect. Some cards I love, but I also thought, I can send them in to the store, and they have samples, or I have them. If I'm really in love with it, I hold it and it's in my little box. And then if I find I didn't use it down the line and I'm sending some samples in, then I just stick them in and send them in, or
perfect.
Because that's where my head, and that's helped me tremendously relax about getting in that rut. Is just that you're using a specific item for a reason, and it doesn't matter, you need to like it. So I like it, instead of saying, okay, what am I going to do with it?
Less about who it's for and more about just enjoying the process.
Correct.
Gina has joined us. We'll say hello to Gina really quick.
Oh, hello.
Let's just go over really quick what was in the fairy release. Finish showing us your cards though, because
I have 2 left. Yep, I have 2 left.
Okay.
And so I made a shaker card using one of the fairies, and this was inspired by Penny, because during your live she mentioned using the rolled gold with the safari stamps to make them look like animal crackers.
I remember that.
So I used the rolled gold to do this, and I stamped it on the vellum, and then I colored it on the other side, so it's stained glass. And then I used some shimmer on the front, so that way it's just a little bit of a different look. That's something I haven't used before.
Very cool.
It's hard to see on screen, but it's much better in person. And then the last card I made, I wanted to go very simple. I actually just chose one image.
Yeah, that has a really nice, clean look to it.
Yeah, and I just put a little ink blending to it. And I think this is the moss embossing powder, which I didn't realize I couldn't find. So I thought the pot of gold would be a very, very good substitute for this.
Oh, for sure.
And then the way I like
some really pretty new ones on there right now too they're new for the fairy release. So check those out too.
So that is the ones that I've made so far.
Very cool. Well, I'm just going to quickly go through all of the fairy release just very quickly, Darren. So we'll start over because I was a little disjointed a little bit before. So we'll just quickly go through it. So the stamp sets, we'll go through those first. The first one is Fairy Fantasy. Take a quick look at all of those beautiful fairies. 19 pieces. There's for all of the stamp sets, there's a coordinating die that is available if you want to get the bundle. The next one is Forest Friends. It's got 18 pieces. It's got all of these adorable critters, which I cannot wait to play with some more of those tonight. And then we'll go ahead and keep moving. Look how cute they are, though. I just love them. Here's the Follow Your Dreams. We were just talking about this one. This one is you can see all of those phrases. They fit into those little signs, and they work perfectly with, these are great because I think they look really good with the fairies, and I think they look really good with the frogs. So it's kind of fun. And actually the safari they could work into too. So this is a great set. You'll use it a lot. It's got a lot of potential for being used with lots of things. Go ahead and move on. Thank you, Darren. Home Sweet Home. This one is beautiful. This one, you saw Candy's really pretty card that she made. Well, she made a couple of them. And your fairies need a home. So there is a great little set for that. And then this one is called Enchanted Forest. And this one has all of the little extras that you could use. This one's got some great, like just the little tree trunk, and then just the little rocks and the mushrooms. And then you've got this fun little forest guy. I don't know what to call it. Forest spirit. Okay.
That's what they've been called.
Who you could do some fun things with that too. All right. And so we'll go through the stencils really quick. We've got the, that one is called Pathway. You've got all of those fun little, well, it's kind of self-explanatory, but you know, your fairies need a little pathway to walk down. That's just, it looks very enchanted. And then you've got this one I think is my favorite. This is the Fairy Flight Path, and it looks fabulous on A2 cards or slimline cards. I'm sure you could use it on other sizes too, but those are the two I've been playing with. And then you've got your river rocks, which are really, really fun to use. And it doesn't take much to make them look really cool. If you just use different colors of ink, it ends up looking really cool. This one is ice. This one is one of our fun 4x4 element ones. And this one is called air. And so you can just kind of see the streams of air. And then the next one is, this one is earth. So you've got these pretty ferns. And I think that's all of the stuff. So there are many paper products that we're not going to put everything up because I want to have time to talk with Candi, but there are many really cool new paper products. There are full color card panels. There's acetate sheets. There's acetate wings that you can foil. So much that you just need to go to the Brutus Monroe site and check it out because there's just too much to cover. And it's lots of fun. So please go check that out. All right. So Candi, I happen to know you're going to be at Create Your Own Ending this year, and that you're going to be teaching.
I know. I'm so excited.
A little bit without telling us too much. Tell us a little bit.
Not sounds much. Well, I only have a little bit of pictures to look at right now. I'm excited to get my hands on some products. I hope to be able to. Good. Good. I was gonna message you that the other day. I'm like, no, don't bugger. I hope to use some shimmery, shiny stuff with our bright, fun. I don't know how to explain anything without giving anything away. Well, I guess if your sneak peek has been in there, the stamp set I'm going to be, it is a stamp and stencil set. I can say that, I think. And it was in the sneak peek. So I'm super excited about it. And I have a couple of ideas and I can't wait to get my hands on it because I have a couple ideas I want to do as samples that I don't know if would have time to do in a class, but I want to get them.
You could at least show them, yeah.
Yes, and so people know how to do it, and hopefully have time to even make a video using it to do that. So, but it'll be bright and cheery, and I'm hoping maybe to do something in an unexpected way, but I don't know until I play with it.
Well, if you want to meet Candi face to face, there are 5 spots available for the in-person. And there are 18 spots available for the virtual.
Wow.
It's the same event, whether you're there in person or not, but we'd love to have you either way. So definitely check that out. Darren already put up a link, I believe, for the Create Your Own Ending event. There it is again. Definitely going to be fun. Gina's going to be there. I'm going to be there. Of course, Christopher and Heather and all of the gang are going to be there. And Also, Kate is going to be there. So we have a fun lineup, and we would love to see you.
Yes, this is
All
my
right.
third one. I love it. It's fun. It's always a good.
I've gone to it virtually. I haven't been to it in person. So I'm really excited. I have never been to the Brutus Monroe store, and I'm dying. I cannot
I
wait.
haven't either. I was supposed to in 2020, and the very last day that we could sign up to do it virtual or in person, my friend and I that were supposed to go together, everything because of what was going on, everything. She's like, I can't drive, so I just said, all right, I'll stay home too, which was a good thing because we didn't know a lot right then, and I had been possibly going to be sick about the day it would be. So, and I wasn't, but I ended up doing it virtually. So I did not get to go in person, but I was supposed to. So
yeah, well, I can't wait to meet you. So in person. And Gina, we can't wait to see you face to face either.
exactly.
I know, Lisa, we want you to come too. Come on down.
Someday.
Okay. I haven't asked you too many questions yet. Let's dive in.
Fire.
All right. So let me make sure before I start, I don't want to take anybody else's away. So I'm just going to do a quick scan and make sure nobody's asked anything, which so far I don't see anything. So maybe once we get warmed up, we'll see more pop up in the chat.
Ask away. What do you want to know about me?
I want to know what your favorite storage solution is. That's always my favorite question to ask because I always am looking for them.
Okay, I have actually 3. I thought about this last night because my first is the one, I think I've mentioned this before, with our new dies. And it doesn't matter which dies they are. I love these so that I have a Stickum. The new, okay, I should show you a new one. I don't have this one done yet. So if it has the picture on the front, it still works. I have a sticked magnet that I just bought offline on this side. And then I have some Stickum loop that helps hold it together.
Oh, smart.
Now, there are little pieces. So I still do put them in a stamp pocket.
Mm-hmm.
But the only reason I do that is so that I can store my extra die cuts in there.
Very smart.
So that is the one thing. So that's the one. And then for things like the bushel and the peck, I just keep them in the packaging. I just snip off the top instead of putting them in a pocket. And then you don't have to deal with that Velcro on the bottom. The second thing I just did this week, and I'm going to take my tablet with me, is I have, it'll be kind of hard to see. So I have my Simon Hurley inks are right here. I fell in love with the daubers, the daubers. And I have the hook and loop now stuck to the side. Let's see if you can see them.
Oh, okay.
But I also found I have room for our blending brushes right next to them. Oh, these aren't ours. Sorry, those are ones I had. But I'm working on getting one for every. Oh, can't see them. Sorry. I'm working on getting one for every color because I want to. I don't need to, but I want to. So I've been adding them, but they fit perfectly. They fit perfectly right inside.
Our floors in my house are so uneven that when I walk in and out of my room, they kind of fall out because my staff storage is actually a cassette tape holder. But even those little brush holders with the little things in them, I might go for those. But yeah,
this was my grandma's. I found it when we were cleaning my move. It's an Avon mug, and I have my blushes. But you have so much little space on your desk, and what I like about our brushes is they're just a little bit thinner than a couple of the others that are on the market. And so they fit in there perfectly. So I have to go get my ink pad anyway. So I might as well grab my brush while I'm there. And then they're not sitting on my desk.
The little diameter, because it makes it easier when it's not so concentrated that it's going to make a huge hard mark, but it makes it so much easier to get those little nooks and crannies on your stencil.
Yes. And so that was just something I discovered just 2 days ago that I'm like, oh my gosh, they fit in there just perfect. Because with the sale they just had, I ordered a bunch. And so then I'm sitting there and I was plugging them in. And I'm like, okay, how many more do I need? And you don't have to have them all 4, but if I just throw in one, when I'm ordering, that's 4 that I can add onto my kit.
Yeah. I've been doing that too. I'm trying to get them for my distress oxides too. So it'll be a while before I have them all. But
yeah. the other. Yeah.
Was that 2 or was that your third one?
I think, was that 2? I don't remember. It
You
might be
told
2.
us
It might be just 2. Because
Okay.
I guess third one was that just to snip off the top of
Oh,
like
yeah,
my,
okay.
I do that with my stencils as well because I'm out of pockets for my stencils. So I just snip off the top and then I can stick them in and out versus having to buy a plastic for them. And they're very well made. So, and then they can just, and then the name's on there and everything. So I know exactly what it is because obviously for design team, I need to know what product I'm using.
Perfect. Hello, Nancy.
Hello.
Okay, let's see. I still don't see any questions, so I'm going to go with the questions that I have down. What is your very favorite spot in your craft room? Do you have like a special?
I don't, because I'm in the front porch of my old house. And to be honest with you, I face outside, which is fine. But I literally want to rearrange my entire, because do you see that window? That window goes into my living room.
Okay.
And I want to rearrange my desk so I'm sitting in that corner so we can put that curtain up so I can watch TV with my honey when we're crafting on Sundays or football. Because right now I have to turn around and look over my shoulder or I have to listen. But I didn't think about it when I signed up my craft room. So now I have to take everything out. And with a puppy, that isn't going to be a while. So just my desk. I don't really have a very big space, but it's about right.
Hey, it works. You're functioning in there just fine.
Yeah.
I think it's fun to see how everybody, I don't know anybody who isn't rearranging their craft room at some point all the time. It's just always evolving into just the perfect space. So,
yes. Oh.
Hello, Jen. Welcome.
Mindy
has a
question.
What is your favorite stamp, die, or stencil?
Okay, my favorite stamp is retired.
Okay, which one is it?
I can grab it if you give me just a second.
You bet.
I'm sure it's retired. I mean, I know it's retired. I'm pretty sure it's in here. It is my favorite. I don't use it very often right now because it is. Let's go. Let's see what's in here. Oh, it's not in this box. Okay. It is the windmill set.
Oh, the windmill set.
Yes.
I know exactly what one you're talking about.
Werf. So I'm Dutch. But that is my favorite set. And it is along the same lines. I'm trying to go through here really quickly to see if I have it, where I might have it. It is on the same lines as our Home Sweet Home set.
It definitely has that same feel, the same type of illustration.
Yeah. But my favorite product is a tie between the Pearl Aqua Pigment and the Pearl Shimmer Mist, because I can do anything with it. I did this in my live the other night. Someone was showing us that I sprayed it out and watercolored with it. This is how I add shimmer to everything.
And it's rare that you don't add shimmer.
Yes. And I add this to, like, I can use either one interchangeably. This one is a little bit more, is it opaque? Mm-hmm. That's not the right word. You can't see through it. So you have to water this one down more if you want to see the color underneath, where the aqua pigment, not so much. But those are my favorite. And I'll add it to other colors over the image. And that's just, you can even add it to a re-inker and it adds the mica. So it makes it shimmery. So that awesome. Would be.
Donna, not surprisingly, if you know Donna has fur babies that she absolutely adores. And she wants to know about yours. What kind of dog do you have, and what is your dog's name?
Okay, so he's supposed to be a Texas Heeler Rat Terrier, but he was supposed to be 20 pounds, but he's pretty sure it's 40 pounds. So we think he might have some lab in him, and my the technician that trims his nails thinks he has Border Collie. So his name is Fletch, like an arrow Fletch. My boyfriend's an avid hunter. So, and he has a little tiny arrow on his left hip that kind of works. So that is his name. So, and he is a sweetheart. He's 10 months old. So he's still very much puppy, but he's getting better.
That's
with
so fun.
Everything. Mm-hmm.
We feel the puppy growing pains around here, but we love having our puppy too.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. Okay. So when you're crafting, do you prefer craft?
Hold on, you cut out a little. You froze on me. There.
Oh, do you prefer to craft alone or with crafty friends?
If I have to craft, and okay, Mindy, don't get mad. If I have projects I have to do, I need to be alone. But if I'm just crafting for fun, then my friends, Mindy and I got together with Mindy a couple of weeks ago and some other crafty friends, and we're getting together at the end of June, just before a weekend or so before I come to Pittsburgh to get together. And we had so much fun. We laughed, and I got a lot of projects done. But I tend to be more of a crafter when I'm getting to those groups.
Mm-hmm.
So, but this last time, what I think was more fun about it is we brought, and I used product that pretty much wasn't my own. Everything I brought, I barely used it. I mean, I used stamps from somebody else or dyes or inks from somebody else that I don't own. And that was really what made it fun for me. So
I think it's fun when you get together with other people. My crafty person is my sister, and I always end up being inspired by something or doing something that I would never have thought to do, which is one benefit of crafting with other people. But I'm more like you. Like if I'm crafting with purpose, I have to be focused, and I'm too chatty otherwise.
And I do have a group of local friends that get together once a month. They're mostly scrapbookers, a few card makers. I have a friend who does some home sales, and they kind of and we do whatever we want. And the last time I went, my one friend that went with me, she was cracking the whip. Do your homework. And all I did was design team projects, and she was so proud of me. She's like, get your homework done before you do anything else. And I got my 3 or 4 projects done. So I was like, okay, now I can play with whatever I want, right? She's like, yes. So that helped.
That's the kind of crafty friend to have, somebody who keeps you on task.
Exactly.
I can make it if you want. You got that.
Oh yeah, right. You're what gets me off task sometimes. I can't fully blame him, but you know. All right, let's see. So if you I have your favorite, like your own dream crafty room renovation, I meant to ask this earlier with the other question, but
sure.
What do you have something in mind that you would do?
I have a few specifics. Tom and I've discussed this many times because we moved into this house. I ended up buying a dream box because
Nice.
Because I didn't have any shelving. And I said, we can spend all this money on shelving and stuff and leave it here and it's permanent, or this was cheaper in the long run. The couple of things that I know, I said I have to have a sitting area with a television that can sit at least 2 people, because I want him to be able, if it's a separate room, so I want him or whoever, if somebody's visiting, to come over and just be able to relax and watch TV. Like if one of the kids come over, or if my mom wants to come in and knit, she doesn't have to craft. And I said I need a cutting station, a die cutting station, a cutting station, like for a paper cutter, a foiling station, and a computer station. Which sounds, none of them have to be super big, but I don't want to have to move my die cut machine. I have a big cutter,
right?
But
you
it's
want
on corner of home. Yes, and I take it to my dining room every time I want to cut a bunch of papers down. So that's kind of what I'm in. Other than that, I can make anything else work.
That sounds like you. You're a very versatile person. That's a good trait to have.
You need it. And I want a standing and a sitting, be able to stand or sit crafting. I like to do both.
For Christmas, I got a stool that fits under my table. And my table is kind of a higher table anyway, but it's like you would have thought it was the most amazing thing in the whole wide world, but it's so nice to have in my room. Jen says she likes crafty retreats, and she says she needs a counter.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. I think I don't have any questions on here.
Okay. Anybody
All
wanna
right, you
know
guys,
anything?
don't be shy.
Yeah, I'm an open book.
One thing that I really love about Candi is she is really great to step in if like there's been a few times when just life happens, and sometimes one of us will be like, oh no, I'm supposed to go live and I can't go live, and Candi will get something together in a hurry, and she always is ready to go, and just she's saved me a few times, and I really appreciate that, Candi.
What do you mean?
Candi, do you
You're
remember
welcome.
Jen?
I'm
You don't remember her?
I'm like, Jen, have we met? I'm really bad with names. I'm better with faces. I can tell you that.
If you
But
saw her name in a watermark, would it help?
no, I know she's on the team. She was on the design. Was she?
Oh.
Are you still on the design team, Jen, or were you on the design team?
She started the same time we did.
Okay, and I knew that, but I didn't think she still was doing what. I don't remember. I don't always see everybody's right now. I'm just with my own, craziness. But I'm like, I didn't think we ever met, Jen. That's why I was like, don't remember us. Yeah, I knew you were on the design team, Jen. I remember that because we've talked. I've commented on your stuff, but I was like, did we meet? And I didn't know.
You thought you met more in person than virtually.
Yeah, and I might have, because I mean, that's where I met Christopher. It was at a convention type thing, and there was a ton of people, and that's kind of where I really fell in love with crafting. And then I've been to a couple of places with the local company in Iowa, and been to there, and I met people. So I'm like, I might have met you, and just I'm really bad. I'm really good with faces, but I'm not necessarily good with names. I used to be a substitute teacher, and I used to tell the kids, if I know your name, it's either because I know your parents outside of school or because you were naughty. If I don't know your name, I might know your face. I'm like, because I subbed so many discs, so I'm like, well, but yeah, I'm better with faces than I am with names.
Well, and as far as Facebook friends go, and people that virtually, they can look completely different. Just the animation of moving can change the whole look of somebody, and so you might not recognize them right from the get-go. And I think I'm a little bit nervous about that. I'm like, oh, I hope that I recognize everybody when we go to create your own ending. If not, don't be offended. Please wear a name tag.
And I have a friend who she owns a company overseas, and I found her on YouTube when I was watching her, and I got to meet her, and she's like, it's not fair. You know what I look like because you see me on YouTube, but I don't know what you look like. But the funny thing is I didn't find her by what she looked like. I heard her speaking, and I'm like, and so, now we've been friends we've been friends ever since. So that was just funny.
I love the friends that you make through crafting.
Yes.
It's amazing.
Yep. Like Mindy that was commenting, she actually doesn't live that far away from me. I mean, it's a couple hours, but I met her randomly through some other people, and now I see her a couple times, 2-3 times a year, and we've had a blast. In just in general, some of the people that I met, they literally live an hour and a half away from me, but I didn't meet them near me. I met them at a convention, or I met them at a virtual event or something like that. So
right. Jen says that people are always surprised that she's as tall as she is. She says, guess she looks short on her profile. How tall are you, Jen?
Tina has a question there too.
Oh, yep. We will catch that. Actually, go ahead and answer that.
Okay, so Tina asked, what advice would I give a new crafter? I think, first of all, and I know other people have said this, 5'10", Jen, wow. Do not compare yourself to anybody else at all, because we all have our strengths and weaknesses, and we all love certain things. We all have different styles. I think you hear it's just paper, but I feel like you have to go and just do what you like, and don't buy it all. You don't need to buy it all. I have found that you need to buy what you like, and my friends that I joke with about this a lot, they're like, I've been good and bought anything. I'm like, oh yeah, if you were to log into Brutus Monroe right now and look at my cart, I'm sure there's like 30 things in my cart. I virtual shop almost every day, and then I cancel out. Even on companies I don't buy anything from, I just virtual shop. But I think that impulse buying sometimes, you know, can be a bad thing if you're not like, I love 90% of what I buy is from Brutus Monroe, and I really love it and the stuff. And that is the first place I go to buy anything, even if it's a staple like my Barely Arts glitter glue or pixie spray. That's where I go to first. And I have found that over the years I've wasted time on stuff that I'm not using or not wanting. And so support the people that you like. You can support other people that you may not necessarily use, that aren't your style, by liking them, following them, watching their videos, you know, commenting. But you know, just start small. You don't need every color in the book. You don't need every tool. Get some good staple, and don't chintz. And I say that because I did that for years. Just trying to buy something that I thought I could afford. And I mean that in the sense of buy a good scissors. Don't buy, you know, like a good paper scissors, or buy, I mean, I have, if you go and look behind me, I think I have like 5 bone folders, but they're all the cheap ones and they've worn down, and versus buying a nice one. So try to get a nice one that you can, you know, your tools that are going to be long lasting, and replace them when you need to. I guess, does that make sense?
And can I add to that? Do you mind? I mean, this is about you, but I love what you're saying. And I feel like if you are going to make an investment, and let's face it, I mean, we all have different incomes, all have different spending budgets. But if you are going to make a purchase, don't be shy about asking people on different groups that you might be a part of on Facebook or whatever. Ask people their advice. Ask them, you know, sincerely, what is the best one? And, you know, you may get 10 different answers, but you'll get more. Typically, you'll get the right answer
for you. Yeah, because like I've seen people say, what's the best trimmer out there? And then people are this one, and everyone has different reasons why. And you know, and maybe you don't get the most expensive trimmer out there to start, and you get a basic one, and you find you're not into the kind with the, you know, you pull it down, you want a guillotine, you know, versus the, you know, and that's what it is, you know, or, you know, scissors, you know, maybe you want a big scissors. I mean, to be honest with you, I actually got these in a class with Christopher the first time I met him, but these are the scissors I use more than anything. They're little, they're not very big. And I don't use big scissors very often. I need a pair, but I don't have a pair. I mean, I could use a pair, but I don't need them, you know, or just little things here and there, like I said. And then do what you love. Don't be afraid to try. It can always go in the garbage. And I always tell everyone, my mom will laugh. Don't worry if you make a mistake, because your mom or your daughter or your son or your significant other, somebody will love the card you make them. So if I make a card to make a mistake, I always think, well, I can send this one to my mom. And I say that a lot. You know.
I love that. The minute that you're not having fun anymore, you got to ask yourself why you're doing it. You know, you got to have fun. You've got to enjoy the process and calm down. You know, just calm down. Just enjoy yourself.
Yep. And like I said, just trying different things. I don't like to watercolor because I don't feel comfortable at it, but I keep trying it. And sometimes like these last 2 I'm super excited about, but other times I'm like, ugh, these look horrible. But then again, I'm my own worst critic. So that's probably not true. But if
you held that one up to one that you started with, they would be night and day.
Exactly. And that's a lot of it. Same thing like with ink blending and, you know, coloring. You know, if you're learning how to use alcohol markers, it's practice and fun.
Absolutely.
So.
Is there anything else that you would, you know what, give us 5 products that you would suggest if somebody's just starting to craft. What are 5 Brutus Monroe products that you would suggest?
5 Brutus Monroe products. Okay, definitely. I'm gonna call this 2. I would say a stick and step mat with a blending buddy. I'm not sure if you can hear me. Can you guys hear me? Yeah. Okay, because I got kind of a stick and step mat with a blending buddy. I would count as 1. And I use it, but sometimes I forget about using it. I mean, I have several. Definitely some sort of aqua pigment, like the pearl or the shimmer, because you can add that to everything to make shine. Raven Detail ink. And then I would go with my go-to embossing powder is Icicle. Does that? So I got my Blend and Buddy thing, that's Raven Detail ink, Aqua Pigment, or Shimmer Mist the Pearl. I would say the Icicle is my favorite, only because I use it on everything and I can use it with colored inks. And then for number 5, one of the glitter glazes, either the Fallen Snow or like the Alabaster.
You know how I feel about Fallen Snow.
Mm-hmm. I rotate because it depends on which one's sitting on my desk.
Yeah. I agree with all of those. Those are all, of course, there's so many that, you know, I'm like, Perfect Blend paper, you know, that one's my favorite.
I just bought 2 big packs of it because I only use that for, I only use it for alcohol marker. I don't use it for blending, even though it's perfect for that because I just hoard it. But I use the Aqua Pigment paper. I love the slimline card bases and panels because then I have to cut my own. I've just recently really started stocking up on the card bases, the pre-cut card bases.
Don't you love
So
them? I tend to be a little thrifty. I mean, to some degree. And that's one of the things that in the past I would, you know, I'd be like, I can just cut it myself. I don't know if I ever can now that I'm so spoiled that I have them. You know what I mean? I love having those.
I only cut down my mini slim because I don't want to cut the slimline card panel ones down for mini slim. So I cut those down. But no, I like the pre-cut panels because they're just fast and ready to go.
They are. They're fast and they're already reserved for that. And you've got them ready to go. They are so convenient. Well, we love having you on our inspiration team. And I am so glad that we got to visit with you tonight. And thank you so much.
You're
Looking
welcome.
forward to seeing you face to face at Create Your Own Ending.
I know. I told Christopher I had to come in early. This is kind of funny. I told him I'd have to come in early because of the airport, you know. And I said, you can put me to work. And he goes, oh, I'll put you to work. He goes, we've got some balloons to blow up. And I told myself, well, I'm full hot air.
You know what?
So I guess
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
That's okay.
I just don't want to forget. I want to make sure that you tell us really quickly about Candi is in charge of our monthly challenge on the Brutus Monroe fan page on Facebook. Yeah. We have a monthly challenge where you can win a $25 card. Entering,
yes.
I mean, entered into. I to be clear.
Yes.
But you enter the contest and you get entered into the drawing. So go ahead.
So I'm hoping to, because I just kind of started over, had Penny start the first of the month. I mean, I will post it on the fan club page when it is live for sure. And then my goal is to always have it the second to last day of the month is the deadline, like midnight, because the last day of the month is when I will draw from the participants. This month is just a graduation project. I wouldn't even say it has to be a card because maybe you did a scrapbook page. Maybe you're doing, you know, a shadow box, anything for graduation, a mixed media project. And then you need to take a picture of it and share it on our Brutus Monroe fan club page. So you need to join that and use hashtag CYOE challenge only because that's how I can find them. I know someone did do it. Don't put anything else. Just put CYOE challenge. I do have the graphic on there, but it can be anything else. You have to use one Brutus Monroe product for sure at this month. It might change, and if you know, we have the design team members that are inspiration team members helping. That if they choose, you have to use glitter glaze. You know, then you might have to use glitter glaze. You know, I mean that's a Brutus Monroe product, but something if it's in the description. But that's it, and that's all you have to do. It doesn't matter if you're a starting crafter or if you've been doing this for years and years. It's, you know, for us to get inspiration using a specific theme basically, or item or something. And that way I try to go and look, you know, at least once a week I go and look and put that hashtag in to find them because I missed one the other day. I was like, oh my gosh. And so but that is it. And
there's still time.
Yes, you have till May 30th, the 30th. So at like 11:59 p.m. So then I'll draw them, and then I will announce the winner, of course, with the next challenge, like on the June 1st. And like I said, it's fun to join. Please do so. Don't be afraid to private message me if you have a question on Facebook, because I don't, sometimes it's hard to answer, or tag me in a post if you need to and answer. I'm usually always available. Good night, Kathy. So I appreciate, no, it's fun. I'm excited. I just took it over. So as we have going,
she's doing a fabulous job too. Well, it looks like we're at the end of our time, but thank you. It has been very pleasant to visit with you as always. And thank you for your questions, and thank you for your comments, everyone. And we will again soon. You never know who might pop in on here. So thank you again, Candi, and have a good night. And
thank
everybody,
you.
Don't forget to create your own ending. Bye.
Have a good night, everyone. Bye.